Garrett Blevins here with an overview of my medium day. It's kind of in between my first and second workout. This was a 6x6 on squats, 5x5 on bench, a 6x3 on deadlifts, and a 3 AMRAP sets on close grips, followed by hip thrusts and croc rows. Here you see the volume for the week. The total volume is there at 196,000, and the work set volume is 127. Below that is the reps broken out by exercise. I think I was over 800 reps if I added in all the accessory work reps to that for the week. However, even though there was about 600 reps of accessory work, they made up only about 70,000 pounds of the volume for the week. And included in that is the hip thrusters and maybe the barbell rows. Can't remember if I put those in. I think I counted that as accessory volume as well, not 100%. In any case, here are the pause squats, 6 sets of 6. Did my first set with 405 and then actually did some ramp up sets from there trying to establish RPE. Still playing around with RPE as a tool and trying to get used to it. What I'm finding is a lot of times I'm underestimating what I'm going to be able to do, and as the day goes on, RPE drops as I become more and more warmed up. So I'm still playing around with it. Workouts, the working weights for this day went from 405 to 455 and moved pretty well. I was happy with the depth. It's a little bit lower than it has been lately. I'd say about maybe half an inch to 3/4 of an inch lower. And that makes a pretty big difference. Here you see a little bit closer shot. In this you can see depth on a little bit better. But I was pretty happy with these. Pauses were not overly long on this day. Really was trying to go through pretty quick since I was doing 36 reps. Didn't want to stay down there and fatigue the lower back too much, so quick pause and then coming out of it as explosively as possible. I felt comfortable on this day and was really trying to squat down in between my knees and not have a ton of forward knee drift. However, you will have some of that knee moving forward in any squat. Everybody's built different, and usually my knees go forward pretty far, and I'm okay with that as of right now. I am trying to get a little bit wider stance and may work on that throughout this training cycle, but that's what's going on with squats. Followed up with 5x5 on bench and really fatigued upper body still. Did 365 for this day, and these reps were rough. Some of them I did pause, some of them I did touch and go, but I did have to drop the weight back down to, I think, maybe 355. I'll see here on this. Yeah, 355 for the rest of my working reps on competition bench. I also had some close grip benching later in the day. You'll see here this set went okay, so I paused the last rep longer. But on some of these I just had to do touch and go and barely made it through the sets. I'll see on this one how it turns out on the last rep, but I think, yeah, you can see there's substantial slowing there on the 4th rep, and then here, well, I ended up pausing that one pretty good. So, working on getting my overall just preparedness up for benching. This training cycle is really taxing me. 365 and 355 should not be as difficult as it was, so I'm definitely developing some fatigue debt there. Pause deadlifts also today. Messing around with my belt and not my belt, as you see here. And starting position. I'm starting a little bit more forward. I'm still trying to retract my shoulders, but I'm just having that the barbell, the bar path directly under the scapula, the back side of the shoulder there. And I'm feeling a little bit more comfortable. I don't feel like I'm having this huge arc with my back. I think using my hips more and squeezing the glutes at the top to lock out the lift more effectively and more optimally. These sets I did double overhand because the weight is still fairly light. You'll see that first set that I did was with 315, and then I moved up from there. I believe I got up to 365 for my top set this day for a set of 6. Here you see my belt. I wore the belt low on this set. You'll see it in another set where it's higher. I also forgot that I was doing pause deadlifts on that first rep, so I just did it fast. As I'm watching these, I see that the weight is really moving quickly. However, doing these sets, my back, lower back especially, was getting pretty blown up and fatigued, though I am not as sore after this workout than I have been after others. I think I may be acclimating to the training a little bit. and I'm really feeling pretty good about coming in for either a Monday or Tuesday workout that's going to be that heavy volume work again. I think my bar path is going okay on conventional deadlift. I think I still need to work on tightness. Wearing the belt low on that set really threw me off, so I actually just took off the belt for this set here. I believe this with 355, and it moved pretty well again. Nothing special, nothing amazing here. Pause deadlifts are definitely not my greatest lift, certainly not conventional, but I am getting stronger each week, and I hope to build on that throughout this training cycle. One of the things that I am having to do with this new style of training is get used to doing some things that I don't like doing or haven't done before. And so that's included incline presses, croc rows, these both conventional deadlift and paused conventional deadlift. But I am starting to get more used to it. Here I put my belt substantially higher, and I got a lot more pressure internally when I did this, and also had felt like I could actually round my upper back without having it impact any rounding in my lower back, and was a lot more comfortable. So I think the high belt position on conventional deadlifting may be the ticket for me. This was with 365, and it felt very explosive and easy. So I'm hoping to be hopefully up around 405 for most of the working reps next time I do pause deadlifts, but time will tell, and I'll have to see how I feel that day. A lot of my training numbers are going to be low, only because the fatigue debt that I'm holding through this training cycle is pretty intense. Here you see some of the close grip work I was doing. It's not an extremely close grip, it's just about maybe an inch and a half in from where I do my normal benching, and did 3 AMRAP sets on this day with these. Overall happy with the day, less sore and fatigued from this day than any of the others, and really happy to have 120,000 plus pounds for my work set volume this week, all between 70 and 80%. So made me think of this proverb 14:23, in all toil there is profit, but mere talk tends only to poverty. And every lifter knows that you can talk big and you can discuss training styles and different programming periodization until you're blue in the face, but you're going to have a bunch of poverty gains if you're not actually out there putting the work in. Now, I'm not saying that everybody needs to do high volume or that anybody should implement the training that I'm doing. This is effective for me where I'm at in my career. I think it's actually a great example of how you shouldn't have a cookie cutter program because it's a lot of volume and a lot of people would not tolerate it well. Even I'm just barely tolerating it. So remember that you need to be putting in the work, but make it the right type of work. You should work smarter and not harder, but that doesn't mean that you aren't working hard. Hope wherever you're at, you're doing well. Blessings.